since we first set foot on Inazuma. So many things have happened. Yeah, we've done so... What? Huh? Hey! What the heck was that for? Doesn't want to talk, huh? All right, let's convince him to calm down a little.
Verdict is... Ha!
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all? Seems like I've mistaken you for someone else.
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person before you go attack. No, wait! Even when you've got the right person, you shouldn't go attacking them out of the blue. It's dangerous.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kazuha? He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animo vision. That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him anything about... Right? Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go find Kazuha right away and tell him to watch... Oh? What kind of hunch? A special connection? You mean beyond already knowing? Yeah, maybe a little. But then again, most people look pretty much the same once they start fighting, so that doesn't really prove anything. Anyway, there's no time to lose. Let's go tell Kazuha so we won't get into any... Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there.
Something impressive after... Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumans, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha. If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention. Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did.
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be? Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. In that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved. He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryo Commission. They said they had something important to discuss with him. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like they really respect the guy.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable. Thank you! Guess we'll go pay...
All right then. I'll just...
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt Decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome to listen in on the conversation. We invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Shogunate. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed? In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun. The Kaidahara clan belonged to this class, but there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaidahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great... We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaedahara clan. Considering Mr. Kaedahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the almighty shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations and—
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the almighty shogun and the shogunate. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some—
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice. With the Kaedahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaedaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to— You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City, with the almighty shogun's blessing and full support of the shogunate.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall— Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaedahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood. I do have a
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaedahara coming.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaeda— Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaedahara Kazuha was using a delusion.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion—
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconsistent—
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way. But perhaps if the shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment.
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important—
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No. This puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaedahara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
All the more reason to watch your back! This guy was a serious nutcase.
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive. Anyone he targets is at risk of serious injury, or worse.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will first join the traveler in investigating the one who attacked her, then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say. Hey there! Riva, do you know if anyone around here has—
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kai.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating—
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaedahara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaedahara's personal some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions? of more.
Please, accept my thanks for.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger, but I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as... The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might have some information from...
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
Uh-oh. Looks like the
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their... For the poor victim, this would be a
Don't worry, we'll find...
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand. Oh, actually, there was one strange incident over the last few days. It doesn't involve an attack, though. Let me tell you about it, Justin.
Sure. During times like...
All right, then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Amenoma!
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smith. 2 grown men going missing at the same time. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you're...
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man...
Sure! Can't hurt! We never knew.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by...
Sounds good. All the best.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man...
Sure! Can't hurt! We never knew.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by...
Sounds good. All the best.
If it...
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the 2 clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited... Yes, you may recall the story of the Raiden Gokaden from the era...
Though all bladesmiths trace their craft back to the same source, over time, each of us has arrived at a different blade-making philosophy, spawning the development of different As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water as it turns stone to sand. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called...
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and... For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey...
Indeed. Most samurai choose their... You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own But let's get back on topic. The purpose of... We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out...
Ah, yes. My nephew. He didn't say a word before he left, but I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile.
We heard that there was a collector involved in...
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato. Yes. Strange, isn't it? If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging. He is extraordinarily talented.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may, based on the evidence we have gathered so far.
What? No, he is humble and kind. Even his train... Yes. If there's one thing I can say first, but... With that said, I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of. Anyway,
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think you...
Yes. It sounds as if something happened. Let's pay a visit.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to... My husband has gone missing.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help.
I see. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful...
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. With this in mind, can we perhaps...
For example, Paimon...
That's a long story. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about everything was fine when we first got married.
Uh-oh.
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying... Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet... On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum.
Whoa.
And that led to...
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet... You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with... After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what had I not indulged his bad habits? And I also don't know if he had acted. The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire.
I see. Amenoma Yuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Naga.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an... But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so... I don't know. He just disappeared after... Perhaps he's too afraid to come home. As long as he's willing to turn...
Please don't get upset. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. But the information we gathered from the other side...
A little confusing.
Let's try a change of scenery. Rest assured, we'll notify you.
Thank you so...
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men with the fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how this... Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon was thinking that... Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
An interesting explanation. Amenoma Yuya is an expert on sword. Maybe he recognized a blade as a fake, or a well-known stolen item. They thought a fire would destroy everything. But then the Tenryou Commission... But it's a far-fetched... One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, the more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could it right? Although the time frame seems to broadly match, Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he...
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one...
Let's keep going. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and...
Okay.
Let's head out of the city. Wait. I hear something ominous in the...
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds as sketchy as that whole thing seems. You did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at...
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in the... It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. The remnants of the Tatar. Indeed. But this unexpected spring of we should remain vigilant.
So it's an
The force is definitely coming. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place. Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source...
Mrs. Nagato's...
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy. From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of
so what should we...
Step back. I'll open the door and take... If we don't open this door, we can move no... You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far...
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse.
That was too scary! Paimon was so sure...
All we can do now is keep searching in the direct. Two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's quiet your mind and focus on... From this point, the trail appears to split into two. The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion...
Whoa! Look at all those hilly trails! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look. By the looks of it, a letter, written on a piece of torn clothing. The ink is bone. Well... According to this letter, a conflict arose because Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight.
So...
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond. Yes, right. If Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately...
Right! So let's get moving!
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to the... For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame would be their all the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected. I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only...
Wait! You figured it out?
I believe so. But it's something of an out. On with the search.
Listen, as long as you stick to your own path, it doesn't matter what Mother Nature throws at you.
Why here?
I'm not sure, but on closer... Show yourself! It's no use hiding any...
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So what's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against...
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. But what if instead of facing Amenoma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it, It is giving. Whoa! Sure.
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years. Or rather, as a means to occupy Amenome.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced that many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I, as a descendant of the Kaedehara clan.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master, and sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his, he not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire... The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as... After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power. The might...
So, Amen, tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you...
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them when they got tired or injured or unusable? I hopped to...
You're off!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse at long last. I'm approaching my journey's destination. Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun. Now, give you...
Submit
to me!
Brace yourselves. Time for takeoff.
Time for retribution!
Do not stand in my way, or I will...
Your bluff's fooling no one.
Lost. I can never lose. It is this body. Even if you defeat me here, he is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new vessel. The end result is the same. And even if I were to lose my physical form, by any means necessary, and any medium...
Your fighting style. It is indeed the form, but from your movements, I sense only hatred and...
Really? You...
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin. Since the blade is currently possessing Aminome Yuya's body, its move... If you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded...
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin art. In that regard, why would I ever...
Because all of that is in the... I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've... Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything... After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remember...
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress.
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. But the way I see it, what began...
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from...
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities, even if you were to sever that divine light. Is this truly the outcome that... Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your... How could you possibly unleash the full potential of...
Silence, you blood... I must achieve my goal. I will concede that you are most
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers... I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection. It is pointless to argue further. Descendant.
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward... I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the all...
What? Surely you're not...
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with... Once we have dealt with them.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose...
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save Ame no Miyuya. The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense the power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions.
What?
Even if things take a turn for the worse, we have a chance here to save an innocent victim.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. Now, take me in your hand.
Kazuha?
I felt a little dizzy at first, but it's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will.
What should we do next? Have you got a...
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, if a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harm, if he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to...
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's...
all right.
What about Ame no Miyuya?
The blade says he'll let Ame no Miyuya trail us silently.
Are we sure this is a good idea? Okay,
Leave everything on this journey to me.
There's more!
Into the wind!
It's a fairy!
Wind strike!
Let's get down to business.
One with nature. Clouds high. The birds call. The wind knows me.
And the fairy.
How are you feeling? You okay?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, it's become very difficult to use. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me, let's keep going.
Let's get down to business.
Time to get back. Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
Lucky day. Mind blade. To the fairy.
Whoa! Something's up with the blade!
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. He cannot hold out much longer.
But what would that do to Ame no Mi?
I will be careful with it. He also says he's still trying to... Time to go.
Look out! Ambush!
Wind strike!
Cheap tricks.
Time to go. Clouds high. The birds call. Wind strike.
It's over! I'm ready!
Time to go.
Cut down!
Are you okay? It looked like you were really struggling the entire fight.
Yes. And it looks like
The shine's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't
perhaps this time we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
true form. What are you talking? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk.
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight. I finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will the only one who truly understood you.
Huh? What's that?
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming? Yup. We can help.
Don't worry. I'll use my own It's just more of the same.
Like a day.
Wind strike! The wind knows me. Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
You fought. What?
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you.
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard, too much time has passed. My physical state is poor, and yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I...
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for... This blade has traveled the land with me for many years. Skill, blade, determination. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. I feel a great sense of regret for you. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost. You have known this for a long time.
He gave me everything. How could I possibly deny? I said to him, do not worry.
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time to reflect on things. When I touched the hilt for the first time, a bladesmith lay quietly on the bed. A newly forged blade lay by his side.
Wow.
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, he spent the rest of his life in the forge. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return, so he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliant.
So that's the But after that, the blacksmith's intent...
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatar. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities. Yes. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. He seems to have calmed down, though. Let's...
When I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would pay any price, but darkness and slaughter numb the mind. Not only did I fail to fulfill his...
You are finally seeing reality.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, but I still cannot bring myself to forsake his... So, may I ask you to help me?
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too!
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of...
His attitude has grown a lot. What do you think, Kazuha? Should we give him a chance?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, alas, after that, nor have I ever had the chance. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the neck. You are a fine warrior.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you must have plenty of reasons to both...
Understood. Then let's...
I see. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true, if a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your...
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended with...
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case, for a final duel,
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash. Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even now, Paimon has us still. Even if he's way past the point of... Are you ready?
ready? Okay. All right then. Successor of Ishin art, Kaedahara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma art, Amenoma Yuya.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also.
Into the wind! Time to go! Wind Strider! Clouds high, the birds call! Time to go! Falling leaves, adorn my night!
Thank you, although he appears battered and broken. In your hands, his sense of savage cruelty has complete...
You also fought well. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you.
I must apologize to you for all...
You need not seek my forgiveness. Nor do I have the right to forgive. It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgression. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path. I beseech you, please understand that.
Yes. I too trust Mr. Kaedehara to do the right.
Thank you.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to go there for?
I'm not sure, but I think that all this is about to come to an end.
Earned.
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thanks to them that I was...
A prized Ishin blade. Considering they're forging but I have some good news as well. Ryuji from...
Really?
Yes. Badly wounded. And now that Hyuya is back, it seems like the fight...
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
What? No way! Hasn't it learned it?
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me I have decided to let him do it.
But...
Thank you. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order. His consciousness will disappear forever.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions. Only in the final moments, before his consciousness...
Seems like he really...
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my person. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling. And after everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits...
Oh, Kazuha?
I will continue to support you from this point on.
Wait! Shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Oh, you're right. We need to tell him about the... And it's also time to give him a response to the offer he made me.
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. Though this was a treacherous investigation indeed, we're most fortunate that the Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanoma Yuya...
Wow, you sure kept your ear to the ground.
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin. A weapon crafted using a by means of a series of fortuitous events. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across...
I see.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. That would not suit me.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I am aware, but I still desire to
Very well, I can understand. Then however, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the shogun...
Great.
Where will you travel to next, Kaz?
I'll probably... As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.